It is Wednesday, September 17th, and it is time to get in the weeds. I am Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3. And SP3 is here on a Wednesday. Not quite used to that. And you reviewed NXT last night, so I don't even know what we're going to talk about with NXT Homecoming. I did watch the show. I covered the show in full. I mean, there's stuff to talk about, but like I don't know if it's any good, you know? A thrilling show, according to some people who their baseline thrill must be very low if that was a thrilling show.
It was. I called it an interesting show. It was interesting.
I mean, a lot of things can be interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a severed toe can be interesting. That doesn't mean
this is
you
true.
want to like stare at it and try to. I mean, I guess you've kind of already dissected it, but you know that doesn't mean like you want to go in depth about what this severed toe is going to mean.
It's like a whole like a pool of chocolate pudding got dumped on a church choir, and you're just watching them like swim and like kind of like try to stand up, but they keep falling down, and then they're like trying to continue singing, but they can't continue singing because they have chocolate in their throat and their eyeballs, and it's just going crazy. Like it's interesting because you can't look away from it, but it's also not like the best thing to be watching. Some people are actually going through some type of pain.
I don't know. Are they really in pain? I mean, chocolate pudding just getting dumped on you? That doesn't sound terrible.
I mean, if it's in your eyeballs and your hair, that's kind of annoying and inconvenient.
Just take a shower. Yeah. Just take a shower. You'll be okay. You'll be fine. Guys, if you're here, leave a thumbs up on the video. That helps us out. Let's see. There we go. Early fireworks. Oh, no. Kind of just short-term fireworks. There we go. Fireworks going off. Subscribe to the channel. That helps us out. Leave a question, comment, statement in the chat. We read most of those unless you're being a jerk. Don't be a jerk. And leave a super chat. We definitely read all of those, and we pop those up on screen as well. So get your question, comment, statement read on the air if you leave a super chat. Guaranteed. Or if you're just in the chat hanging out and you just, we still like to interact with the chat, and we read a lot of those happening in the chat. NXT Homecoming. It was a show. That's about the best I can say about it. It was a show. I say it every week. Stuff happens on NXT. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad, but stuff happens on NXT. You will never accuse that show of just being boring. You know what I mean?
I mean, there are weeks that it is boring, but
there might be some like boring stuff, but like from start to finish, that show's never boring because it's stuff just constantly happens. You might not like it. It might not be interesting to you, but stuff happens on that show.
Yeah.
I don't think they're boring NXT weeks.
I think that you are right to kind of say that to people, because some people kind of make these kind of generalized complaints about stuff. Like I had that discussion about AEW last week. I think it was one of our friends in the chat. I think it was King Potato. He was like, AEW has barely told any stories over the last couple of weeks. And I was like, that's a false statement. They have told plenty of stories over the last couple of weeks. Now, would you define those stories as good? No, they haven't told any good stories over the last couple of weeks, would be a more correct assessment and opinion of yourself if you are trying to say that. But to say that AEW has barely told any stories is objectively false. Therefore, like me saying that, an NXT week can be boring, that's a false statement, because there's always going to be stuff that happens. Now, is the stuff any good? No, and that's why I'm bored, because I don't care. That's why it would be considered boring to me. But is stuff actually happening? Can you write about stuff? Can you talk about stuff with people that are NXT fans? Most definitely yes, because they just throw anything at the wall. Some of it good, some of it bad, some of it indifferent. We had that in a match last night where they had objectively a great match, and then they defined it down with the ending of the matchup. giving us a prototypical WWE ending with The Miz to make sure that we know this is mid-card. This isn't main event, as it felt main event for the 20 minutes that the match went on.
The Miz popping up was so hilarious because he's not really NXT. He was NXT coach, famously.
He was yes,
coached.
he was a pro on the first season of NXT.
I know, but you don't think of Miz when you think, the NXT when they're going through the highlight packages and everything. Like Miz just ain't a guy. It's like, oh yeah, this is NXT right here, the Miz of all people. So it was very hilarious that he just interfered in that match and cost Gargano and Ciampa, just to remind you of who the real stars are, and it is the Miz coming out there. Let's talk about it, as Trick Williams likes to say a lot of times when he
Isn't this like the
needs
earliest
something to say.
Yeah,
because I'm just trying to get it over with. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying
he's like, I'm trying to get it out the way.
Yeah.
Fair. Let's talk about the thumbnail then. Oh my god, I ranted about it. I don't know if I have another rant about it in me because I ranted about it last night. But I ranted about it last night before I even watched it because I heard Triple H's music and I was like, you know what? I need to run some errands. Let me just turn this up a little bit. I can hear what's going on. Oh, Shawn Michaels came out. Oh, that's great. Oh, they're teasing a match with each other or a match against each other. Oh, that's nice. Oh, William Regal comes out. Oh, I wonder what he's going to say. Then he comes out and says that. Then we have Charlotte and Alexa have their robotic chemistry on screen with one another. And then that's how we open up NXT. We just wasted time for 15 minutes. Why is it that Triple H has gotten out his Vince McMahon notes on how to do special episodes? It seems like since the start of the year, he's been on that. I'm just going to follow my notes that I learned from Vince. Oh, we need nostalgia. We need to talk about the 1980s, the 1990s, and anything but right now. Oh, this guy.
Guys, we are going to storm the PC. It's over for these fools. Can you believe it? They just disrespected TNA one more time. That's the last time. So we're going to get on our keyboards and we're going to warrior our way through it. And then we're going to go to Orlando. We're going to go take it over. And we are going to be NXTNA, but we're going to actually be more like the TNA part of the NXT. Listen, they got 20 years, man. They got to be keyboard warriors on the Homecoming show? What the fuck is that?
Do some on the ground reporting and find some people and ask them about the TNA invasion of NXT.
How interested they are in that.
Yeah.
So I'm currently outside of my youth area. Jeremy, you know my area?
Yeah.
The people walking around right now, not exactly those people I want to do this with.
Come on, don't be a coward. Do some street reporting here.
For $50, name a woman.
Ask them how they feel about Trick Williams holding the TNA title hostage. And
does that anger them?
Yeah, see if they're angry. Yeah.
I think the next thing they would do is shank me, but that's just my interpretation of things.
Come on, ask the public. We need to know their thoughts on this TNA invasion.
The public are currently driving to work right now. My bus is on the way. I can't stop them. They're driving.
Just jump out in front of them. You'll be fine.
That's right. That works usually.
Yeah. You'll be okay.
God.
There hasn't been a more telegraphed invasion angle more than this in a very long time.
I will give them credit. I'll give them credit. They didn't telegraph it because I thought they were going to do something last night. And they didn't do shit last night.
I knew. See, you don't know. See, me and Joel, we know TNA.
We know TNA.
I watched TNA enough to know that they were telegraphing it a week in advance. That nothing. I was like, wait, Rhea and the trios matchup is main eventing. wait, the only knockout that they have that's identifiable to TNA is Masha Slamovich, not even their champion. So no, they're not going to get involved in this main event.
Not the main event.
Happening on this show.
Not the main event. I thought Trick Williams was going to get jumped in the parking lot. You go back to Full Sail and you don't use the parking lot?
Because it's not the Full Sail lot anymore that matters.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's the PC lots.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So next
the
week
real
when they're
fans.
back at the PC, next week when they're back at the PC, they're going to do the PC lot brawl.
Yep. It's going to be at the start of the show. You can see someone attacked in the parking lot. That's how they start the show. And it's going to be a show-long narrative that closes with them getting involved and causing a no contest in the champion versus champion matchup. It's so telegraphed how everything's going to happen.
The real fans.
In 5 minutes. I'm coming back in 5 minutes. I got to get on a bus, and I don't want to be that guy. So I'll be right back.
Fine.
No worries.
Ask people on the bus about the TNA invasion. Look at his big old smile and how happy he is.
Look at him.
Booting him. We just pop him back on. Oh no, the smile's gone. Now it just looks like there's
damn.
That's unfortunate.
Should have made that the solo. Should have made him solo screen.
Yeah.
Him smiling.
I don't think I can. No, can't pull it back up, unfortunately.
No.
Oh well. No, the real fans would have known the Full Sail parking lot lore.
Yeah.
And they should have used the Full Sail parking lot. They're cowards for not doing it. TNA. Nothing screams, who the fuck are these guys? Like them just tweeting about it and not actually showing up to do anything. Let me hop online and say I'm so tired of the disrespect. You know where the show is. This is not anything new. You've known for weeks where this show is. Trick Williams has held this title for like 5 months now. This isn't anything new.
Over 100 days.
He's held this title for plenty of time. This is not anything new. Let me tweet. Let me be a keyboard warrior and send my tweet out. I'm so tired of the disrespect. I'm so tired of NXT putting us down and acting like we aren't relevant and we aren't important. And how are you just making TNA title matches without the permission of... They've been making TNA title matches without your damn permission. Now you're mad about it? The best part, and I tweeted about this last night, the best part, all of these TNA people are so mad. Moose, Macklin, Matt Hardy, it's all the M's, Inspiration, Santana, Santino, Ali, Cedric, the whole roster's mad. Meanwhile, Joe Hendry is there at the show.
Yes!
Just scouting locations of like...
I was waiting. I knew you were going to get to it.
What if I'm behind this door and someone says my name and then I can pop out? What if I'm in this closet and someone says my name and I can pop out? Joe, the TNA wrestlers are very mad about TNA feeling disrespected. You were the last person to hold the TNA championship. You were on WrestleMania with the TNA championship. How do you feel about the disrespect that NXT has shown TNA over these past few months? What if I'm behind this couch and they say my name and I can pop out? Well, what are you going to do, Joe? Are you going to attack the wrestler who says your name since they are associated with NXT? I'm going to clap.
I'm going to come out and I'm going to clap. But the best part was the people from TNA who are tweeting and being like, why isn't TNA a part of Homecoming? And I'm like, Joe Hendry, he literally was in the intro for the show. They did the old school intro, but they had the new roster, and they show everybody on the roster. And there goes Joe Hendry. I'm like, wait a second there. Then he does his backstage segment with Bobby Roode. and he busts out and he does this clap, and Bobby Roode's like, it was great seeing you with the TNA World Championship at WrestleMania as a former TNA World Champion myself, and I'm also a former NXT champion, and I think since you're here now in NXT, that's the title you need to go after now. And I was like, wait a second. Can you? I rewinded it back, Jeremy. I rewinded it back. I was like, wait, what he just said? He said, now that you're here on NXT, you should go for the NXT championship. I was like, since when is Joe Hendry a part of the NXT roster? Did his TNA contract expire already? Is this part of the partnership that they get early access to these TNA guys before their contracts expire? Because the whole Joe Hendry usage last night makes me question if he's not already signed.
They promoted him in the intro.
Yeah, I said that. I said the intro,
I didn't hear it,
and then the Bobby Roode segment where he said, "Since you're here now in NXT, you should go after the NXT championship." It was like, what? Wait, what? When did he sign with when is he part of the NXT roster? I know I saw him in the intro, but you're saying something that hasn't been specified yet.
Yep, I'm sure the reporting will be out soon enough. My favorite was Vic Joseph going to break and being like, everybody's tweeting about it. Steve Macklin, former TNA world champion, we'll be back. And I'm like, he still holds a title. And he used to work for WWE, right? Yeah, like, this. It was just, it was one of those moments. It's like, huh? That guy?
Matt Hardy tweeting, Moose tweeting.
Everyone's upset, baby.
They should do something about it. Why don't they show up to SmackDown and do something? Why don't they show up to WrestlePalooza and do something about it? Why are they waiting a whole week to do something about it? They should show up to the PC today. You know where the PC is. It's open. There's wrestlers there training. I'm so mad about this, but I'm going to wait until a whole week to do something. You got a show on Thursday. Do something on your own show, dorks.
You know what's really funny about this? I have a theory that's not an awesome theory. I have a theory that somebody in the creative department was like, we're going to do this keyboard warrior thing. We're going to flip it on his head and show the mirror to the fans when they complain about stuff so that they see that they're just as bad when they talk shit about the product. And meanwhile, we're like, we don't book the product. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if someone's like, we're going to 4D chess this whole thing. And there's one guy who will tell you this was the best idea ever. By the way, was Carlos Silva silent on Twitter or was he talking about it last night?
I think he was silent. I'll double check Carlos Silva's Twitter because I have nothing better to do.
Guys, at TNA Defender 6941 here, I have exclusive news. Carlos Silva is a WWE psyop. He's been brought in. He's going to overthrow the paid TNA. They're all going to sell to WWE. Breaking news.
Oh my God. I did not know this.
Carlos Silva did say nothing. He said nothing. What's he supposed to say? What's he supposed to say?
I'm mad as heck and I'm not going to take it anymore. Guys, please play nice with my belts. It's not fair. I'm going to have to go on TV again. I'm going to have to go on TV and try not to smile when the big bad guys win my belts.
These dudes are going to get beat up so quickly, too.
So quickly.
Obafemi's just going to fly swat all these dudes.
Hank and Tank are going to manhandle the good hands. They're just going to throw them. You're like, and that's the end of that.
Eddie Edwards just bop. Here comes Brian Myers, bop. Just knock them all away. Why is this gnat flying around me? Just get away from me.
Matt Cardona, get the hell out of here.
Oh, yeah, Cardona's going to... Cardona's going, I'm back. I made it back. Let's go.
He's already talking about bringing Shotzi's tank.
Yeah. She's not even there.
She's not even there. It's like, yeah, they told him when she tells Shaq they were going to give it to her pieces or some shit.
She's not even there. Yeah, Tommy Dreamer is going to lead the charge.
Yeah, he would. You're going to be like, for WrestleMania, Saudi Arabia. I mean, for TNA.
Man, these dudes are just gonna get destroyed by the.
It's gonna be so funny.
By the
And what does
NXT
it lead
talent.
to? What does it lead to?
Leads to
World
TNA.
collide?
It leads to TNA getting put under even further. That's hilarious to me.
It leads to Mike Santana not winning the title at Bound for Glory, so that we can kick the can down the curb a little bit further, and we can have
they
someone else.
can't do that. They cannot.
Joel has been on this bandwagon he's
know.
been leading the bandwagon. It's not even he's been on it. Yeah.
He wants revenge because he was wrong about Slammiversary because they were dumb.
Just me, but they were dumb. No, listen. This company has proven that CTE booking is the way to go. Joe Hendry
booking.
Yeah, the people anyway, the point is they've proven time and again that if you book the same thing every single cycle, it's fine. People won't complain, except for the people who complain.
Exactly.
But it's okay, guys. They're gonna get a big TV deal.
That's what's gonna be announced
problems.
at WWE TNA World Collide. That's what's gonna be announced. They're heading to the CW starting January 11th. 2026 every single Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
This is something Jeremy and SP3 that you and I have talked about. The idea that they've told you our world title doesn't matter to our TV so much that we are not going to have any TV in front of the crowd angles with our champion, and we're going to do a one beatdown on the taped show that we tape after the live show because we're idiots. And then we're going to probably film a bunch of vignettes that night to be interspersed on random episodes of Impact leading into Bound for Glory. But it's okay because more people watch NXT. So clearly they'll care then.
See, now you're thinking. Now you're using your big brain.
That's right. Carlos Silva is a WWE PSYOP. You heard it here first. I'm going to go get on one train, then go get on another train.
Ask the fans how they feel about the TNA invasion, Joel. Do some work around here.
I have more gear in my backpack than I have clothes, so I might.
You should. You better. You
SPG
must.
Looking at me like I'm crazy. Brother, it's a 4K camera. It's a light. It's 2 mics. It's a field recorder. It's a tripod. It's batteries. It's all the cables. It's everything. Because I got shit to do. So I'm going to go do that shit.
All right. I see
Y'all
enjoy.
Go enjoy.
Enjoy Dynamite tonight.
Yes,
3 hour show.
Dynamite.
All 7 hours I'm going to be there.
I hope it's a September to remember.
Oh, it's going to be a September to get me the hell out of here after 2 hours.
Wow. AEW hater.
No, it'll be fine. I'm looking forward to it. It's a packed show. It's going to be a great show.
Where are you
sitting?
Great
run of shows. I don't know. They haven't sent me my ticket yet.
Oh, you might not enjoy the show.
Oh, boy.
I have my confirmation.
You should do content outside the arena. It's just like you can't get in.
Like I'm Bobby Heenan on Raw 93. Yeah. All right. Boys, go have fun. I'll see you all eventually.
Bye, Joel.
Take care, Joel.
Take care, y'all.
I'm not telling him to take care.
Take care. Spike your hair.
Can we put him? All right, let's put this photo full screen.
Look at this. Look at this face. Look at this face. This face looks like it's going to start a Canadian promotion.
All right, how do I get... Now we're gone. Hold on. Now you just hear voices. Oh my gosh. All right, there we go.
Oh, damn.
Look how we popped
that would have
up.
been awesome. Like we're hiding in the weeds.
Yeah. So. We did kind of like fade in, so that was cool. At least.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was dope.
This invasion sucks. Already it sucks.
It's just so telegraphed. Has WWE ever done a good invasion? The one night NXT one. But have they ever done a good invasion that lasted more than one night? That should be the question.
The initial Retribution ruled, but mainly because it sucked so bad
sucked.
that I thought it was hilarious.
I could say in a lot of ways the original WCW invasion, it was actually good for a couple of weeks. It's not until Austin turns heel on WWE at Invasion that it kind of takes the first dip.
the problem with the TNA invasion is they just don't have that guy that feels bigger than. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it feels very like it kind of feels like the same problem that the WCW invasion had in the sense that here's Booker T kind of leading the charge. It's like
and I think the other issue is that the big hero is like not that guy. It's not the guy that has been waving the flag. It's not Josh Alexander. It's not like if it was Speedball Mike Bailey, who had been with the company for like the past
Speedball.
3-4. But I'm just saying he had been with the company for like 3-4 years. Like it's Santana, and yes, Santana had a ton of momentum heading into Slammiversary, and yes, all of us wanted Santana to win the TNA World Championship at Slammiversary and be the hero, the conquering hero for TNA. But when you really think about it, Santana in TNA is the equivalent of Lex Luger being the big hero at the end of the NWO story, even though he kind of was for 3 days. But like, if Lex Luger was the one that it was building up to and not Sting, not the guy that had been there and stuck through and stuck with the company the whole entire guy. It was like the guy who went to WWE, spent like 3-4 years over there, then came back to WCW, and he was like the first big defection. Santana's a guy who did spend like 3-4 years in AEW and then came back. And yes, he's come back and he's motivated and he feels rejuvenated and he's so good in the ring, so good on the mic, so good at it as a character. But we also know the reports, if you're like an inside fan, if you're tapped in on what's going on, that his contract is expiring at the end of the year. He's already appearing on WWE television. We've already seen reports of WWE management liking what they see from Santana. Santana is not, he's here for a good time, not a long time. That's what it feels like with TNA. TNA always feels like they catch on to these guys way too late, and by the time they catch on, they're about to leave.
The issue with Santana, I think Santana is a guy who can get there. The issue with Santana is they've already positioned him as a guy who is not there. And so he doesn't feel like he can be that guy in this invasion. You mentioned Speedball. Speedball at least had longevity, but it's not like he was a former world champion trying to lead this invasion. Alexander would have.
I'm saying you should be crowning a first-time world champion. I like the idea of what they got with Santana, but I say like that's why I said Speedball would have worked better in this spot, is because he had the longevity. He would be a first-time world champion, but he has more longevity being a TNA guy and that being like his first breakout on a main stage. It was for Santana, but he had some time on AEW on a bigger stage.
See, I think Alexander works actually best here because he had longevity and he was a former champion. And so he had that cachet with the TNA audience when it came to that. I still think Speedball would have been hurt by the fact that, like, I think you kind of need a former world champion sort of leading the charge here who hasn't been down positioned by NXT. And that's, again, my issue with Santana is he's kind of been down positioned by NXT because he's already failed. Moose, sort of in that same boat. Maybe he could be that guy of like, oh, Moose is taking charge. He has longevity. He's a former world champion. But when he's been on NXT television, he has been kind of down positioned by the likes of Obafemi and Trick Williams. So they just don't have a guy who is like, yeah, this guy actually stands out above the pack. They don't have that person leading the charge. Like the Hardys, maybe
the person who that is Leon Slater, but we're like 2 years away from that.
Yeah, and Leon, I'm not trying to be like he's undersized, but when you look at him compared to the Obafemis and the Trick Williams, like the size difference is kind of massive, and NXT obviously cares about that kind of stuff. So I don't think Leon ain't the rallying guy of like, Leon Slater's leading the charge here.
But
Leon's a nice secondary piece.
That's the guy from TNA that feels like the most TNA and can be like a young guy that can lead the charge in a similar fashion to Javon Evans' role over on NXT. He's gonna be the future face of NXT, much like Leon Slater, if they're able to hold on to him, would be the future face of TNA. I think I've seen people in the chat mentioning him. Macklin is another good shout if you want someone to kind of lead the charge. But that person who leads the charge, I don't necessarily think is going to be the conquering hero at the end. Because if you remember with like the NWO angle, who was the guys leading the charge for WCW at that time? It was really Ric Flair and the Horsemen, and it was Macho Man Randy Savage before he turned heel. Those were the two guys. Then it kind of transitioned to like your Diamond Dallas Page and your Lex Lugers, and then it was eventually the conquering hero was Sting. So you can have multiple guys kind of play a leadership position for TNA in this whole thing, like your Macklins, like your Moose, but you have to have a guy at the end that's kind of like your guy that you're going to put in that position. And they already missed the peak of that story with Santana at Slammiversary, where Santana wins that championship. He can at least have a 6-month reign with the TNA World Championship before he has to renegotiate a new deal. But we're already near the end of the year. We're near the end of the third quarter of the year. We're going into the fourth quarter of the year. It's a wrap. Like, I understand why there's people like Joel that believe that Santana's not winning the title at Bound for Glory because they've already missed the peak. They missed the time to pull the trigger, and it would feel like too little too late if he wins at Bound for Glory, honestly.
Yeah. This invasion's going to be something. Imagine Ali just walking back in there, doing another invasion. He just gets PTSD. It's just like,
he's like, no.
Guys.
They try to give him a mask, and he's like, no.
No, guys, I can't do this. I'm out. I'm just out. He just leaves. He's done. It's going to be something next week. I don't know if it's going to be good. You know what it does do that like I was upset about last night? They completely undercut this Oba and Ricky Saints match.
Oh my God.
Cut that off so quickly of like, do not care about this match. Bless Ricky. He was fired up with his promo. He was trying to talk him into the building and everything.
He got cooked. He was only trying that much because he got cooked.
He got dismissed.
Obafemi with the energy of a mob boss who just got done cutting a multi-billion-dollar deal. He's lounging in his chair, just like, you know, you're ready for us to go to the main roster so you could be Cody Rhodes' bag boy. Oh my God. It was like he was done. He was done from there. Ricky tried his bag, fired up, put a really fired up promo that in a vacuum, it was good. But out of that vacuum, when you look at it after what Oba said, it just did not live up to what he said.
Yeah.
And he also prefaced it by saying, oh, you must not know about my game. Like he was about to cut the best promo of his life. And it's not even a top 10 Ricky Starks promo.
Yeah. He just got dismissed, man. I felt bad for him. He was trying to get fired up and try to hit back. And it wasn't terrible or anything. No. But not only did Oba dismiss him, it immediately gets cut because here comes Trick Williams, and then they announce a title versus title match. It's like, oh, well, this is the big important thing happening now. Who cares about Ricky Saints getting his title shot at No Mercy? We care about the title versus title match next week. It's like, oh, all right. And then the TNA invasion. They've completely you mentioned they telegraphed the invasion. They've completely telegraphed this match ain't having a finish.
Yeah, I've never seen one company in one night telegraph an invasion give away a title versus title match for a single match that they have protected, Jeremy, for 8 months. They literally changed Obafemi versus Trick Williams at New Year's Evil in January to a 3-way with Eddie Thorpe. Then it looked like we were gonna get the singles match at Stand and Deliver. That was like the whole thing when it first happened. When they threw Eddie Thorpe into that matchup, everybody was like, "Oh, they probably want to do the singles match at Stand and Deliver." Okay, bet. Then we get to Stand and Deliver. It's a 3-way match again because they threw Javon Evans into that. Then you get them. They once again are teasing a 3-way with those 3 guys. They eventually do a number 1 contenders matchup. They have Javon win that, so they don't give away the Obafemi Trick Williams matchup. You're thinking, oh, they must be saving this for a big PLE at the end of the year. No, they do it the week before a PLE, a week before the pay-per-view. This is WCW levels of idiotic booking. I compared it last night with Alex on Sour Grabs. I was like, this is very much the WWE 2025 equivalent of WCW giving away Lex Luger versus Hulk Hogan before Hog Wild 1997. 3 days before the pay-per-view, or 5 days before the pay-per-view, they gave away their main event matchup. And with NXT, 5 days before their pay-per-view, they're giving away a bigger match than their main event. And literally, the whole segment was designed to tell you this is a bigger deal than whatever the hell we have over here. This show is a bigger deal than whatever we got going on the PLE. They didn't spend any time to build up anything really for No Mercy. They made a new match, and they did it in a 2-minute backstage segment with Damian Priest telling Tavion Heiss, giving him no agency, saying, I got you a matchup at the PLE. That was the only advancement that we got for No Mercy, because I can't even consider Obafemi roasting Ricky Saints and then Ricky Saints getting fired up but not really saying anything and not really living up to his preface that he put out there, and then Trick Williams immediately taking the thunder and saying the spotlight belongs here and on Oba. And mind you, it wasn't Ava who came out to make this matchup, it was Grayson Waller who said, I'm going to go suggest this matchup to Ava. A freaking third member of a 3-man group on Monday Night Raw is now making the biggest match in NXT history. This show is so poorly written, it's ridiculous. And we haven't even addressed the thumbnail with these 2 old sons of bitches out here just jerking each other off verbally. Oh, you're so great. You're making record profits on Raw and SmackDown. Oh, you're so great. NXT, they're flying high. You and your team, they're so great. You're so great. Oh, but I have a problem with you. What if I want to come back? Oh, these marks in the freaking Full Sail. Like, oh my God, Sean and Hunter are going to fight again. And then William Regal.
WrestleMania Saudi, baby.
Let me say my one line that I'm only out here for. Y'all literally advertised me for one line that has nothing to do with this. We're not getting a War Games with Hunter versus Hunter versus Sean. What the hell are we doing here? And then Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss with their 0% chemistry whenever they have a live mic in front of them. Oh my God, this was a waste of time.
This ruled. I love this opening so much because it had no purpose. You knew it was going to happen, though. You knew it was going to happen because Triple H has to come out there and he has to be back in front of the audience. Even though he hates being in front of the camera, he has to be in front of the audience, especially Full Sail, where he used to get gift baskets from the Reddit community because of how good his booking was. This ruled. This absolutely ruled that Triple H had to come out there for this. And then Shawn Michaels comes out. It's like, okay, of course, Shawn comes out. Sure, continue to, as the Grapsody guys say, credit boys, continue to take credit for everything that you guys do. So good. Them teasing, them doing, what if I want to come back? Like, in what world is this a thing? And then it got better. And then it got better because William Regal comes out. And I'm like, okay, Regal's there. Is he going to like add to this in any way? Is he going to set up like, well, what if we do Team Shawn, Team Hunter? What is he going to add to this? No. Just say the word. Not even a line. It's a word. Just say the word.
That the fans knew he was going to say. And he said it before him. So he literally had to chastise them, be like, let me say my line. Let me say my line.
Just say the one word you need to say. And then he hits his word. And it's like, so are we going to get a Team Shawn, Team Triple H War Games? Is that where we're leading to here? Where are we going?
Not another mention the whole night.
Where are we going with it?
It was like that segment never happened.
It was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I immediately messaged our group chat. I was like, the thumbnail is Shawn and Triple H with the caption, the future. Unless like Paige returns or something, unless there's something like, a monumental return here, this is the thumbnail. Because this encapsulated what this whole show was about. Is these two dudes just getting themselves over no matter what. No matter what the rest of the show was gonna be, was supposed to be, was planned to be, what actually went down, didn't matter. What mattered is how could Shawn Michaels and Triple H get the most out of their appearance and get people talking about them. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I love this opening segment. Absolutely loved it.
This opening segment sucked beyond belief. I cannot stress this enough. I did not really watch the segment before Sour Grabs last night. And then after Sour Grabs, I don't know why I made this decision, but I made the decision because WWE posted on their YouTube channel the whole segment. Like it was something worth of highlight from the show. Awful. I hated every minute of this. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, y'all are not cool. Y'all weren't cool in 2006, let alone 2025. What the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing? The only thing we got out of this was a shout out for some women from the past. That was the only thing that this first segment accomplished, and we did that in like a couple of seconds. So we did not need 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
The longer
this opening segment.
The longer this segment went, the more I was like, what's getting cut? Because they've announced various people. Poor Bianca Belair, they announce her. It's like, here's Bianca in the front row. Hi, everybody.
Sami Zayn, back to a segment.
The
Finn
moment
Balor, he's only here for 5 minutes.
The longer this segment went, I was like, oh, time's getting cut there, time's getting cut there. The main event got like 8 minutes. I'm like, oh, they're going to really push this main event quickly because that opening segment went way too long, completely overstayed its welcome. So the main event got cut for sure. So funny that these dudes always talk about gotta be professional, gotta hit your times. If you don't hit your times, then it means that stuff's gonna get cut from other parties. It's like, oh, on Raw, like you can overstay a little bit. You don't have a set time that's gotta end. SmackDown, you gotta be off by 10. NXT, you gotta be off 100% by 10. You ain't got no overruns on these shows, so you gotta hit your times. And the two most veteran people decided, how can we take time away from everybody else on this show so we can tease something that ain't happening?
When was the last big NXT show? You remember the last big NXT show that they had? The weekly show. What was the last big NXT weekly show they had?
Title Tuesday? Against Title Tuesday?
It was New Year's Evil.
Okay.
Who was on that show that ate up a lot of time? Drunk ass Dwayne.
Oh, yeah, that ruled too.
It's Like these old fucks don't want to leave the future of professional wrestling alone during these special episodes of this is like a very special episode of these sitcoms. Like that's what these NXT episodes are, where you got the guys from the 90s, and I swear, and I see Senior Nerd in the chat who was like, were Sean and Hunter ever cool? Maybe you weren't around, but 1998, yes, yeah. Sean and Hunter were very cool. They were among the coolest professional wrestlers in the world, but that was 1998. They were not cool when they reunited in 2006. They were very not cool when they reunited in 2009. Every DX reunion since they both retired has not been cool. And last night was the utter essence and the definition of not being cool, but being too powerful that you eat up all the time on this show. 15 minutes? Oh my God. That felt like an eternity. I mean, thankfully for me, I was doing something. I was filming something, and the filming went overtime. So I was like, I had NXT on the TV as I'm filming something, and all I see is just Sean and Triple H just verbally jacking each other off. And I'm just like, I'm actually thankful that I'm not watching this live, because I'd be so annoyed.
In fairness to Dwayne, him being that drunk rolled, he was all hopped up on the mana. That was very funny.
That was great. That was absolutely fantastic.
2, he at least went on at the end of the show. So
yes,
he knew, like, I mean, he didn't know his mark because he was ready to go for another half hour. So he just got cut off on everything. But he went on at the end of the show. So it's not like he was like really taking time up. They'd planned like, all right, Rocky, you got 15 minutes. Go out there, do whatever you got to do for 15 minutes. And yeah, he was ready to go for 30. And they just had to cut him off because they had the out to hit. These two went on at the beginning of the show. So if they went long,
all the time they needed.
Yes. So if they went
long,
say
nothing.
That means it cut
anything, cuts. Jeremy. They didn't say anything. What did they say?
What do you mean? They teased the match. They teased the match. What if Triple H wants to come back? They have teased now. You think Triple H and Sean? You think Triple H and Sean are just gonna fight off the TNA dorks next week?
They're gonna come together. They're gonna be like, let's take them down, and it's just them beating up Santino. It's just like 2009 all over again. They're beating up Santino. Like
Shawn Michaels is just super kicking everybody. Triple H is throwing his punch, taking everybody out. That's what really needs to happen.
Shawn Michaels like, what's your name? John Skyler. Kicks him, super kick. I just super kicked John.
Here's how it goes. NXT starts next week. It's the face-off between Triple H and Shawn Michaels. They're still, because their tension was never resolved from last night. They're just facing off, and they're like, so we never finished our conversation last week. What if I did want to come back? Shawn's like, what does that even mean? Ava comes in. Ava is like, guys, I know you have your attention right now, but I've just heard Moose is here. Moose is here. Mustafa Ali
the system's
is
here.
The system had just arrived. And they're like, we'll talk about this later. And then they just wander the halls and they see all the TNA dorks just hanging out. Brian Myers is there. Sean's like, I recognize you, super kick. There's Matt Cardona. Matt's like, Triple H, I've been calling you. Punch.
And he just goes into like a Streets of Rage type of like screen where Sean and Hunter are just walking
side scroller. Yeah. I like that.
And
here's Ali. Ali's like, I'm still owed an NXT North America super kick. And they just take out the whole TNA roster. And then they get to the end. I don't even know. I was going to say final boss, but The Rock ain't showing up. There's Carlos Silva in his trucker hat.
His hat grows larger when he gets to the final boss of Carlos Silva.
Carlos Silva is there, and then Carlos Silva just goes away. His hat flies off, and then
imagine Carlos Silva takes off his hat, and you're thinking, oh man, he probably has like a weird bald head or something, but he has a human being.
He's another human being.
Yeah, he takes off his hat, and it's a Kaiju Dixie Carter. A Kaiju Dixie Carter is under his hat. Huh?
I don't know what a Kaiju Dixie Carter looks like.
It means a monster that grows into a large size, like Power Rangers gotta come together and take this shit down type of way. Like it turns into a giant who's like stomping on houses, and it's Dixie Carter.
This is 100% Ring of Hallucinations booking right here. Kaiju Dixie Carter's there. She gets super kicked. Carlos Silva runs away. They look at the hat. They just chuck it aside. And then they look at each other again. And Triple H is like, you know what? Maybe we're just better off working together. And Shawn's like, yeah, we are. And then they hug. And that's it. That's how they resolve the whole storyline.
You messed it up. They look into the camera and they said, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Suck it. And then the music hits. Bring it down. And the credits roll.
That's the whole show.
They get stuff. And then it's just Paul and Shawn just walking down the road, arm over arm with each other. Bring it down. Da-da, 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 and then the credits roll. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
That's the whole show. They just murder the TNA roster. They decide that they're better off working together. And all that tension that they had last night just goes away, just dissipates. Which, in fairness, is more follow-up than they're going to actually give. So
I think that invasion sounds way more entertaining than the actual one we're going to get next week.
Rules. Absolutely rules.
Kaiju Dixie Carter. That was the
Kaiju Dixie Carter's good. I have Glass saying we have Ring of Hallucinations and now Total Nonstop Acid.
That's good. Total Nonstop Acid.
I think Joel has mentioned that before. Maybe Lab Glass is original. I feel like that's been said before. So I'll give you credit, Lab Glass. I don't care. But I feel like that's been said on this show before. Absolutely rules. What a dumb show last night was. I loved it, but it was super
I
dumb.
enjoyed it. I had a good time for all the things that I complained about. I couldn't say that I wasn't entertained by a large majority of that show. I mentioned it earlier. The Trick Mellow Gang versus DIY matchup was absolutely splendid. I thought all 4 guys went out there and gave us a takeover-esque style matchup. The way they worked it, the way it broke down, the way it was paced, the big moves being spread out across like the 20-minute duration of the matchup. It just was let down a little bit by the finish of the matchup, which plays into, the Miz storyline with Mello on SmackDown. That's all fair. But Miz being involved in this automatically made it feel very mid-card. And the 20 minutes of the matchup made it very much like a main event style matchup. Like this is the takeover style matchup for this NXT reunion show. And we got that for 20 minutes. And then Miz came out and it was like, dude, you just completely messed up the vibes of all of this, but thanks. But I thought all 4 guys worked it well. Loved the story with Mello and Trick kind of not being on the same page. Mello taking a page out of Miz's book and tagging himself in, stealing the spotlight. Trick looking like he was not going to stand for that. He's his own man now. He could do it on his own. I like DIY, being very much the well-oiled machine and how they were the team that had their issues, fell apart, had their rivalry, but have come back together and realized they're better together than separate. So well done. The storytelling, the action, that was the match of the night for me.
My match of the night was Finn Balor beating up Lexus King.
Also fair. Also,
You know what?
I
Legitimately,
literally, we come back from break and Lexus King is in the ring. I was like, "This is Finn Balor's spot." I didn't even need to hear him say anything. I was like, "This is the Finn Balor spot." We haven't seen Balor yet. It's like 9:30. This is Balor's spot.
sorry. I'm trying to clarify stuff.
Or instead of the DX theme music at the end of the movie, we could have Linkin Park, "What I've Done." What?
For Transformers.
And
Yeah, for Transformers.
What I've done, erase myself. Hey, Lexus King, he was underwhelming AEW to WWE, but he has improved on where he was in AEW, to be fair to him.
He popped me with the Lexus Homecoming King. I legitimately laughed when he said that. I was like, you know what? You got me.
He's like, fair game. Fair game.
You got me on this one. I'm so excited for this lights out match. I assume this is Ring of Hallucinations is nobody else can see.
He's like, put the blindfolds on the freaking fans. Come on.
I assume that's what it is.
No, it's the Wendy Chu Tiffany Stratton matchup from back in like 2.0.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, they turned off they dimmed the lights and they have like that type of matchup. No DQ, no count out.
All right. I mean, sure. People are gonna expect like an AEW lights out match, and you're gonna get just
you're getting first
Lexus
of all,
King.
First of all, you're getting Lexus King versus Miles Bourne. It's not exactly what I would call the guys to have an AEW style lights out match.
I mean, maybe.
No, I'm gonna firmly say no. I'm not gonna play with y'all emotion.
Oh man, the DIY and Trick and Mello match was going very well. I love how just Mello and Trick were just friends immediately. Like they just did their entrance, like yeah, let's hug. We're all back, even though I cut you off with we were gonna talk about it, and then here comes Mello with everything. DIY got their old themes, although Ciampa with that face paint was very unnecessary.
Dude, I was like, did no one tell him he looks like Dustin Rhodes? He looks like Goldust. Like,
I thought he looked like the Stalker, Barry Windham out there. That's who he looked like.
Also true.
Yeah, it was a little unnecessary for this. I'm like, okay, dude, this ain't War Games or anything. You know what I mean? Like, you're just doing a tag team match that's not going to matter in 12 minutes after the match. Like, it'll be okay. Do you think there's any follow-up on SmackDown? All these guys are on SmackDown. Do you think, like, DIY is like, hey, what the fuck were you doing on Tuesday?
I think we're going to get Mello Don't Miss versus DIY for sure.
Now aren't they facing, who are they facing this week? They have a match.
Mello Don't Miss? No, Mello's facing Sammy this week.
Oh yeah, Mello's facing Sammy.
I'm saying coming out of this, you could still follow up on it like next week on SmackDown. This is the go home show. They're going to be more focused on final hype for WrestlePalooza. But like as far as like in the future, yeah, I think they're going to follow up on it. They'll do Mello Don't Miss versus DIY. But like, man, why are we even teasing us as fans? Giving us the old DIY theme song last week, then giving us Ciampa, No One Can Survive, and Rebel Heart, and then they got to go back to their trash ass Def Rebel theme song. That Def Rebel theme song is anti-pop. Like they will never get a reaction when their music hits, as long as they're coming out to that. When they could come out to Rebel Heart, you still own the rights. Why don't you use the good songs? I don't know. That sounds like a good idea to me.
It's same with Balor. Balor had his good theme. They always bring back the good themes for these NXT appearances. Like, yeah, it used to be better. It really used to be better.
It really used to be good, man. I don't know what's going on. Like, why are we even doing this to yourself because of like copyrights and stuff like that? Just you got the money. It's not like you don't got no money. You can't get the new copyright claim. I gotta wait till I get this check and stuff. Like, man, y'all making billions of dollars. Cut it out. Stop having broke boy energy. I'm sick of these billionaires with broke boy energy. I say it all the time when we talk about NBA. I'm gonna talk about it when we talk about the WWE. Stop having broke boy energy. Y'all making billions of dollars. Act like it.
It is very, I like broke boy energy. It's like, y'all are billionaires. Y'all do have all this money, and you're just cutting corners on like theme music. Why?
Stupid.
Just pay up.
So stupid.
Just pay up.
Oh man.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, Balor did look happy with this old theme song and doing the old entrance. Which, man, and him coming out to that theme music and making that entrance was just like, man, I remember when Balor was the star, the face of NXT. And we all were like, man, I can't wait till he goes to the main roster. He's going to be a world champion. He's going to be a top star for a day. Damn, man. This is 10 years later. It's sad that it turned out this way. He's had a good career. He just had all the potential to have a great career in WWE.
He's made a lot of money. He's done way less work. True. I don't begrudge. I don't
begrudge him. I'm just saying what could have been. What could have been.
Yeah. I it could have been different. I don't know better, because who knows how he would have been handled with the world title run, and if he, how long that would have been, if he would have gotten back to that spot or anything. You never know how that was going to play out. But obviously, the way it did play out, like he's had a good career. He's been a television fixture for basically since he's gotten there. And I mean, now the Judgment Day stuff, they're over with the stuff that they do. He's got longevity there. So, and he did look much happier though. He's like,
he did
finally.
This is the best time of this whole entire WWE run. Was his 2 runs in NXT.
Yeah.
It was the only time he was treated as a top guy.
Booker T was excited that Stephanie Vaquer was back and doing the double devil's kiss with Rhea Ripley.
Popping his dick. He was gonna pop my dick, man.
I gotta pop my dick, man.
He was so excited. He was so excited. As you expect, the main roster people won because God forbid, God forbid the established team wins.
The women's champion lost as well, got pinned in the matchup.
They love doing that. They love just pinning the champion in these scenarios. Like, it makes me believe that Jace is just going to retain at No Mercy.
Yeah. Because that's what happened the last time. When she lost in last 2 times she lost in tag team matches. She lost in the tag team matchup with her and Fallon versus Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe, and that led to her beating Jordan Grace. She lost in the 6-woman tag with Masha versus Masha and Zaruka, and then she won against Masha at Slammiversary. And now she lost here, and it feels like she's going to eventually beat Lola Vice at No Mercy.
Yeah, I think she's going to win. Yeah.
It's strange. It's a strange position, but good match. Good match to close the show. I thought all 6 ladies worked well with the time that they had. They had less than 10 minutes, like you said, with the time that was cut due to the opening segment. But I think they made good use of the time. I don't really necessarily like the finish, because I don't like when baby faces are the ones that are cheating, because Fatal Influence didn't cheat first. Like, if the babyfaces do what they did last night and a fourth babyface comes out to help them stop the heel from leaving and hits them with her finish before the babyface in the matchup hits her with the finish for the win. If the heels cheat before then, that's fine. If the heels are not cheating and the babyface gets help from outside of the matchup, that makes them not good babyfaces. Just letting everybody know, just in case there was any confusion. They're not. That wasn't a good babyface move by Rhea Ripley to accept help from Lola Vice to get the win last night. But that's neither here nor there. It happened. It is what it is. Good matchup from the ladies. But yeah, JC Jane is just horribly booked. She's booked like Seth Rollins as WWE champion in 2015. She's booked like Kevin Owens as Universal champion in 2016. Like, she just loses. She's booked like a bum.
Well, they call her the most beatable NXT Women's Champion of all time. And then she keeps winning these matches. It's like, well, the rest of your roster must really suck then, if they can't beat her. The booking of JC Jane's very strange. And the booking of the shows in general is very strange.
Yeah, the booking is very strange on this show.
Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, they retained their titles because, of course, they did. They beat Tatum and Izzy of the culling. That's fine match. A little rough.
Yeah. It was like Charlotte and Alexa went into one of those like circus mirror rooms where you see all different versions of yourself. Like, you'll see one with like a different color hair, or you'll see one with a different size head, and one that's taller than you, one that's smaller than you. And they basically went into that mirror house and they wound it up in NXT, where Alexa was looking at Tatum, who has different hair color, but it's the same character. She's a crazy girl with a doll fetish. And then you got Charlotte, who looked across at Izzy Dane, who at times, when they had the camera to her back, I was confused on which one was Charlotte, because she has a attire that's very similar to Charlotte Flair, and her hairstyle is very similar to Charlotte Flair's usual hairstyle. But this was well worked, fine matchup to open the show. Culling looked solid in there. I'm not getting the most out of this Charlotte and Alexa title reign. I know there's going to be some in the chat who got a lot more out of it than I do, but it's fine. It's here.
Alexa Bliss gamers coming after you.
I know. I just don't. I can't get into their lack of chemistry when they have a live mic in front of them. It's kind of baffling to me. I don't remember someone like a duo or a combination having that much chemistry in pre-tapes and then having absolutely none of it when they have a live mic in front of them.
Yeah, they're very good in pre-tapes, but yeah, once they do have the live mic, it's like, oh, this is a little rough here. Like they're a little back and forth where they were like naming the women and everything, and Charlotte's like Alexa Bliss, Charlotte's like Charlotte Flair, and like they're waiting for a bigger crowd pop than what actually happened.
Because she also kind of like tried to speak over or jump over what Charlotte was saying, because Charlotte started all the name dropping by saying the 4 horsewomen. Why are we naming Charlotte twice then?
Yeah.
Why does Alexa need to say Charlotte Flair to start off her list of names?
Well, they didn't want to say, Sasha. So Alexa got an Ember at the very least.
Yeah. Yes, I appreciate that.
Yeah, she mentioned to get an Ember, but they didn't want to say Sasha. I don't know why, but they just didn't want to say Sasha. What else happened on this show?
I'm trying to.
I'm legitimately trying to.
Ethan Page versus Tyler Breeze.
Yeah.
Tyler Breeze looked good. He looks like he has not aged that much in 10 years. Like, there was just times in this matchup where I'm looking at him, I'm like, I feel like I'm watching 2014 because it's Full Sail and it's Tyler Breeze. I was like, am I watching 2014 NXT? Am I watching the right year? Because nothing about this building has changed in 10 years. Full Sail, and nothing too much about Tyler Breeze. He looked really good out there. I thought this was actually a very kind of old school textbook style matchup, but very well done in what they did. I think the only issue that I had with the matchup was commentary missing out on a couple of key spots, like Tyler Breeze hitting Ethan Page with the supermodel kick for a good near fall. He hits him with the beauty shot for a good near fall at the end, and he doesn't even call it. He says it's a spilling heel kick. I'm like, Vic, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You knew for a week Tyler Breeze gonna be. This is not like an open challenge. Come on, do better, dog.
I'm glad Tyler Breeze got on this show. I'm glad he had a good showing. I don't know what it's gonna lead to, if anything, but it was good to see him kind of show out. And then Ethan Page and Tavion Heights is happening at No Mercy because Damian Priest appeared, and Damian Priest. It was very funny when he's like, I won the title, and then I had a hot tub celebration. And Tavian's like, oh, for real? It's like, did you not watch when all this happened? It's like, man, that's awesome.
Oh, for real?
It's very funny. Like, that was like Damian Priest's moment in NXT. No one can name you anything Damian Priest did in NXT, but they can name you that hot tub moment.
The hot tub moment. That is his DIY breakup. That is his identifiable moment of NXT.
And Damian Priest and Tavion Heights just had no idea that this ever happened. Like, oh man, that's so cool. I've never heard about this before.
He's like, shocker. Oh my God, this is breaking news. Breaking news.
Amazing.
When did this happen? 4 or 5 years ago. He was like, oh man. The acting is so bad on this show. Like,
it's always been terrible. That's why it rules. That's why I love it so much, because it is so bad. Shayna Baszler was there, and that was like the one actual surprise was Shayna Baszler there, because everyone else was announced, and then The Miz wasn't announced, but it's like, okay, it's The Miz, who,
not much of a headline grabber.
Yeah. Shayna Baszler was like an actual surprise. Like, oh, good to see Shayna back there. And she said it herself. She's been hanging around. She goes to the PC. She helps out. She gets on the headset and doesn't like necessarily produce matches, but just kind of works on the headset and still seems amicable with everybody in NXT. So, good on Shayna. She had to try to get Zarya.
I thought it was good use. I thought it was good use of her, kind of being the elder statesman, trying to drop some knowledge to Zaruka, trying to tell them to get on the same page. She's a multi-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champion and had her fair share of tag team partners that she didn't get along with, most notably Nia Jax. She turned on Ronda Rousey, and that's how they lost the tag team titles as well. So she was the right person to kind of use in this spot. This was a quick use of her and not anything to kind of write home about and cause like headlines like, oh my God, is she coming back full time? Like, no, this was kind of just a spot to use her in. I could see her coming back and maybe, like Davion says, being a producer more on a full-time basis. As far as like if she wants to step back into the ring and get some more years out of her in-ring competition, I think she's gonna have to look elsewhere outside of WWE, because WWE doesn't seem too concerned with using her in an in-ring capacity. But if she just wants to still work with WWE, she's comfortable there. If she's happy, I'm happy. Then I could see her re-signing there. But it made sense to use her in that way that they did last night. So good stuff.
Yeah, she's talked about her future and kind of what things might hold, and she mentioned she'd be open to doing like a kind of producer's role as long as schedule and money kind of worked out. I mean, she's only been announced for one indie show, and that's the Prestige show. And unfortunately, Prestige is not going to be around basically after this show, Roseland. So I don't know what her future holds. Obviously, she can do Bloodsport whenever she wants, but I imagine even as a WWE producer, they'll allow her to do Bloodsport. I don't think they care that much. They got a good relationship with GCW and Barnett, so I think that
they just use Pete Dunne, who's basically a WWE producer now.
Yeah. So I don't think that's really off the table or anything. It just depends on what she wants and what where her priorities are, because I don't know anywhere else. She mentioned like AEW because obviously Marina's there, everything. I don't know if AEW sees a spot for her, has a spot for her, has even talked to her, honestly. TNA, if you're in TNA, you're one step away from being in WWE anyway, so whatever makes Shayna happy. Shayna rules, so hopefully whatever she decides to do is good for her. We do have another super chat. I gotta get the drop set up here. All right,
Drop the beat. Let the
Bob sends
beat
a super
drop.
chat. Says Vanilla Fumble.
I'm Vanilla, baby.
Is what we call when that guy in the crowd said, "We love you, Trips." Should have said Sup Legend.
Trips, sup legend.
What a show NXT Homecoming was. None of it's gonna matter next week. None of it's gonna matter next week. It doesn't matter.
Hey, all I know is that next week's show is more important than No Mercy. Everything seems to be more important.
I mean,
than
basically,
No Mercy.
yeah. Again, the No Mercy doesn't matter at all because everyone needs to focus on the TNA NXT title match between Obafemi and Trick Williams. And TNA talent is very upset. Please let it be known that they are very upset. Don't write it.
Hey guys, I don't know if you were aware, but TNA's upset with us.
Yeah. Anything else from the show?
I love that NXT gets their own weekend for PLE and don't even care to promote it.
I mean, they only cared to promote it because when it was going up against AEW, because it was going up against AEW. Otherwise, I don't care.
It's like they are just proving the point of they only care about these certain things if it's against AEW. If it's them putting down somebody else, getting the one up on somebody else, that's when they care.
Yeah, that's it.
Interesting. Well, since we finished talking about the show, let's do some rankings of NXT. How about that?
Okay. All right.
Let's do. Have you ever done a blind ranking?
I don't think I have. I obviously know what it is, but I haven't done like a blind ranking myself.
All right.
So
Are you about to take
my blind ranking virginity?
Yes, I'm about to pop your blind chair. Your blind ranking chair. I was about to say I'm about to pop your blind cherry, which sounded way worse than blind ranking cherry. Like, oh, I can't see. Let me pop your cherry. No. All right. Blind ranking of NXT all-time things. Let's do matches, people, champions. We'll do a couple, and we'll see if Jeremy can get better at the blind ranking. And
Well,
y'all give him a score. Y'all give him a grade score, A through F, for his blind ranking. All right. We'll start with NXT champions.
Okay. All right. You have to tell me how many they're gonna be.
Oh, it's all 1 through 5.
Okay, so it's 5.
Yeah, it's 5.
So there's 5 things. Okay.
Yeah. So whatever you put in first place is 1.
Yeah.
Second place 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, I got to know how many numbers there are so I can rank them.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 5. Okay.
All right. Here we go. All right. NXT champions. Are you ready, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Let's start off with the guy who was on last night's show, Finn Balor.
Balor was a really good champion who, like, really lifted that brand as well. I'm almost tempted to say number 1, like, off the gate, because the only people that I feel I could rank above him would be potentially Joe Gargano, for different reasons. Nobody like kind of more of the modern era. Like Balor is. I hope it doesn't get lost in history of how important he actually was to NXT and holding that title. I'm gonna put Balor at number 1.
All right. So you got Balor at 1 here. I'm gonna try to keep track. I'll try to keep track here. I'll put it in our private chat here. So he's got Balor at 1. All right. Next up, Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins was the first, which is important, but
yeah,
I mean he helped establish that, and obviously he went on to bigger things. I'm gonna put him, but as far as overall, like what he meant to the brand, I kind of think Bo Dallas was more important as a champion than Seth Rollins.
Damn, that's I wouldn't go that far.
Seth Rollins was just the first. That's it. That's his whole his distinction. Is like he's the first, but like he didn't mean as much to that brand as guys like Balor, Joe, Gargano, Ilya. Like those guys kind of meant more to the brand. I'm gonna put Rollins at 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Keith Lee.
I kind of think Rollins should have been higher than Keith Lee. I'm gonna put Keith Lee at 4.
All right. There we got Johnny Gargano.
There aren't too many people that I'd place above Gargano. Balor's definitely one of them. I mean, I only got 2 spots left, so
Yeah,
I'll put
2 and 3.
Yeah, I'll put Gargano at 2 because there are a couple people I might put ahead of him, but I could also argue fairly easy for Gargano at 2 anyway, even over the people that I may have ahead of him.
And your number 3, Karrion Kross.
Oh, he would have been 5.
I think you did well. You did well. You passed the first test, which was me giving you the number 1 as the first pick. So you passed that test very well. Yeah. Some people are scared to always put the first name they hear at number 1.
Nah, if I feel confident in the number 1 guy, I'll put him at number 1. I felt confident in Balor. Again, there are names you can argue. Like, you can argue Gargano as the number 1 guy. You can argue Ciampa as the number 1 guy. Cole. I think Samoa Joe as well. Like these guys have arguments, but I also feel very good about my argument for Balor. Honestly,
yeah, I think Balor to me, if I had to rank all the NXT champions of all time, I would probably put Balor at number 1.
I did love that Karrion Kross tried to like tweet, "Tune into Homecoming. It's gonna be a can't miss show."
Trying to get people convinced he's gonna show up.
Yeah, that was a choice.
Hey, he tried. He tried his best.
He did try. He did.
All right. So what score are y'all giving Jeremy? What letter grade are y'all giving Jeremy for that first tier list? So his tier list is as follows of the greatest NXT champions of all time. He's got 1 Finn Balor, 2 Johnny Gargano, 3 Karrion Kross, 4 Keith Lee, 5 Seth Rollins.
I give myself an A+.
You got a B+, a B, a B+. I think those are fair. Those are fair grades.
I'm gonna ban all of you.
Why? They're giving you good grades. You're getting good grades. What's
that was
the
an
problem?
A+ right there.
No, that wasn't an A+ blind ranking. That was
A+.
B+. I agree. All right, you want to try another one?
Yeah, we'll do another one.
All right, we'll do NXT. Let's do NXT classic matches. You ready?
Okay.
All right. DIY versus Revival Takeover Toronto.
That's a good one. I don't want to quite put this one at 1 because there are a number of matches that I have a strong argument for at number 1. So I don't want to quite go number 1 on this. But it's still got to be really up there. And I just got to hope that, you give me one of the 3 to 4-ish matches that I would probably put over this. All right, this is from Takeover Toronto, right?
Takeover Toronto.
Okay. I wanna make sure I'm getting the right one because
I would have said Takeover Brooklyn. I was at that show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go 2. I feel good about 2 as long as you give me. There's 2 matches I feel very strongly about that are better than. And then there's a couple I got arguments for. So I feel good about 2.
Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Flair versus Bayley versus Becky Lynch. Takeover Rival.
Like, this is a good match, but like I don't feel it's on the level of a lot of takeover matches or top tier NXT matches. It's it's historical because it's the 4 horsewomen, but I mean, we know Sasha and Bayley had a better match. Sasha and Becky had a better one-on-one match, honestly. And I'll go 5 with that.
All right. Becky and Bayley. All right. Now we will go with Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate. Takeover Chicago.
Okay, that's a good one. I can't put that 1. It's definitely not better than the takeover than the tag team match. I really like this match though. I really do. I'm gonna go 4 though. I don't feel great about going 4 on that. I feel I'm gonna go 3. All right. Yeah, I feel a little bit better about going 3 than 4. And if you're gonna give me basically the 2 matches that I think are better than the number 1 match, then fine. It is what it is. But I feel better about going 3 than 4 on that.
Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn.
1.
Takeover Dallas.
1. And you're gonna probably give me Sasha and Bayley, and I'm gonna look stupid by ranking that number 4. But I don't care. Shinsuke and Sami Zayn, me personally, is my favorite NXT match. I have that over Sasha and Bayley, so I will.
Wow.
Yeah, that's personally my favorite NXT match. So I would have ranked it 1 over them, regardless. Okay, go ahead, make me look dumb. Give me Sasha and Bayley.
I was gonna say Sasha and Bayley. Ciampa versus Gargano. Takeover New Orleans.
No, I would have put that shit at 5.
It's
I hate
it's
all
number
matches.
4. It's number 4.
I hate all their matches.
So that's a perfect ranking for you.
I feel good about that. I appreciate you not doing Sasha and Bayley at the end. I don't know if I Jedi mind tricked you there by saying that, or if you had that planned out.
No,
but I appreciate you.
I did. So your ranking of the greatest NXT matches: Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Takeover Dallas. Number 2, DIY versus Revival, 2 out of 3 falls, Takeover Toronto. Number 3, Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate, Takeover Chicago. Number 4, Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano, unsanctioned match, Takeover New Orleans. And number 5, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Takeover Rival.
I feel good about that. I feel good. Yeah, people are giving me an A, as they should.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten an A on both of them, but
Well, you got a
chat
B.
jerks.
You got a B. You got a B. You can't change it. Just you got a B on the first one. And you got a. See, that's improvement. That's improvement.
You jerks in the chat said it was a B. Should have been an A the entire time. Don't like any of you jerks in the chat.
Wow, a lot of people don't like Gargano versus Ciampa, it seems. So there you go.
And Gargano and Ciampa is like.
I like the first one. I like the first two matches. The takeover Chicago. I know that was the popular thing back in 2018. Was the better matchup to a lot of like the hardcore wrestling fans. I think that there is a strong argument that is the better matchup because that is more. I think like 7 years later, that's the more memorable of the two matches, of the three matches that they had in that year.
I think the whole series gets a bad rap because of that garbage ass pandemic match. And so people just look back and are like.
And mind you, their last man standing match at TakeOver Brooklyn 2018, that was very good, maybe even borderline great, but that was legitimately everybody was like, yeah, we reached the end of this. Like we reached the end of this. They needed to take a break. Maybe they could go back to it to make sure Johnny wins in the end and wins the title from Ciampa. But we're going to need a break after this one because they've kind of did it too much. 3 TakeOver main events in a row. Like it was too much at that point. And then even with time, 2 years later, them going back to it and doing the one final beat, that match was objectively bad. It was
that one final beat match. That was the insist upon itself match.
Insisted upon itself.
What is going on in this match? All right, we do one more blind ranking. Do you have one more?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I got one more for you. Let's do NXT Tag Team Champions.
Okay.
NXT Tag Team Champions. Are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
The Undisputed Era.
All right, so I'm trying to think in terms of match quality and like importance to the actual brand. Undisputed Era is tough because their match quality is good, but it's not on the level of, at least to me, of like DIY, of American Alpha, of FTR. But in terms of importance to the brand, I don't know if there's anybody higher than them. Honestly.
I was gonna say, I was surprised you said American Alpha. American Alpha, I think, is so overrated at this point. Like it's been so long that they have now gotten to the point they're overrated. They only have the great matches with Revival in NXT. Undisputed Era has more great matches than them in their NXT runs.
Yeah, but I love American Alpha. If I
loved American. I was the big person who was like Chad Gable, the next Kurt Angle from the beginning vignettes that they had together, where Gable was trying to convince Jordan to be his tag team partner.
Yeah, they were so good. That's where like you saw something with Chad Gable that he was more than just a wrestling guy. You saw the charisma and stuff, and then they still didn't know how to use him for years on end. And then they were shocked. It's like, wow, Chad Gable's actually like got charisma and stuff. Anyway, here's a Shorty G gimmick for you. So stupid. It's like, yeah, just watch that NXT stuff. He's really good. He's really good. Can't believe they made Chad Gable into what they made him. Man, as far as brand importance, though, they might not have the match catalog of like FTR, DIY. DIY is the only team I actually feel comfortable ranking above them. So I'm going to put them at 2 just because I'll leave one open for potentially DIY, and I'll feel okay if FTR is there at 1 as well. Although I do think Undisputed Era probably tops FTR. I'm putting him at 2.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go Authors of Pain.
All right, Authors of Pain were there. They were kind of important, but probably more important than they're given credit for, just because their main roster flops so bad. But
Yeah.
I mean, they're not. They can't be too high on this list. I'm gonna go 5 for Authors of Pain.
Authors of Pain at 5.
Yeah, I'll put the Ascension over Authors of Pain.
Fraxium.
Oh, okay. All right. See, I was thinking way more old school. And Fraxium is Fraxium. It's gotta be up there. I'll go 3 for Fraxium. I can't quite put them over Undisputed Era. Yeah, I gotta leave one open for a couple of teams. So I'll go 3 for Fraxium.
I somewhat like the cautious approach you're going at this. Let's go Sanity.
I can't put them 1, so they gotta be 4.
Okay, your number 1 is the Ascension.
Hell yeah. I'm actually fine with the Ascension being number 1. The Ascension kind of ruled. Like they had the longest tag team title reign. Like I think the Ascension are legitimately an underrated team in NXT. They will never get the credit because they didn't have like banger matches and everything. But during those early NXT days, they were actually really important to the brand. I would not put them.
They were dominant tag team champions.
I would not put them at number 1 legitimately, but I would have been okay putting them at like 3 with the rest of these teams. I would have been fine putting them over Sanity and Authors of Pain. Legitimately, I would have put them at 3.
Yeah, I think that was like the only thing that you messed up on. I would have in retrospect, it's either Undisputed Era or Fraxium at number 1. But your ranking for the best tag teams in NXT history: number 1 Ascension, number 2 Undisputed Era, number 3 Fraxium, number 4 Sanity, number 5 Authors of Pain.
All right, I feel okay about that. Obviously, I mean, Ascension number 1, probably not gonna light things on fire.
Who would you say is the greatest NXT tag team of all time? I would say you're probably right. I think the teams that are in the conversation is DIY, Revival, Undisputed Era, and Fraxium for me, honestly. I feel like those are the Mount Rushmore right there.
I would have DIY at number 1, and I'm probably giving them more credit because of also the stuff they did as singles talent.
Yeah.
And so like they do get a boost off of that. The same way kind of Undisputed Era gets a boost because of how much Adam Cole carried. It not just in tag team stuff, but Adam Cole is a singles guy overall. But yeah, I'd have DIY number 1. I think FTR might have the best case for just tag team stuff. Where you just look at what they did as a team, because they didn't have really any type of single stuff, and they didn't have a third to kind of lift them like Undisputed Era did. So yeah, I would probably go DIY 1 though because of what I just mentioned. Fraxium also has a pretty strong argument.
Importance and influence, DIY, like that's very hard despite the relatively short duration they were together. They were together just over a year, really. their prime run together on NXT. But like, yeah, the whole story of DIY is probably the most important in NXT history that they have to have. That they have like the best case to me for the greatest tag team in NXT history. Revival, they were also kind of there for a short amount of time, but they really went from like kind of like forgotten guys to like the top tag team before our eyes. It was like this. It was like an instant. It just happened before our eyes. They went from kind of a time on the outliers. They had a strong matchup in the Dusty Rhodes tag team classes, and then immediately went into the tag team title picture and never looked back after that. Like they had a great rivalry. Everybody talks about the DIY rivalry, the matches with American Alpha. They had a great rivalry with Enzo and Cass. Like the Revival was there and accomplished a lot in a short amount of time. So they deserve to be there. Undisputed Era was just like the dominant faction of NXT for like 2-3 years. But like the combination of Red Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish always are great. But man, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong was the best combination of Undisputed Era. Like when they got together in 2018, they just had banger after banger, whether it was with Mustache Mountain, whether it was with Lorcan and Burke. Like they were just delivering time in, time out, every single takeover, every single title defense. Like they had a 10-minute 5-star matchup with the Mustache Mountain on NXT TV. Like they were just delivering on a otherworldly level. They were the best tag team in the world at that time, so they deserve to be on there. But I think like because it's so recent, people might not mention them, but Fraxium is in that conversation as the greatest tag team in NXT history. They revived the NXT tag team division that had pretty much gone dormant outside of like small glimmers being like MSK and the likes of like good tag teams like the Creeds that they had in the years of like 2.0 and after Undisputed Era left the company. But Fraxium gave us a long duration, a full year of great tag team wrestling just by their presence alone. So they deserve to be in that Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, when you mentioned Fraxium, I was a little just caught off guard because I was thinking more former era stuff, but that's why I felt pretty confident putting them at 3 because, I mean, they're top 4 when you look at the totality of NXT tag teams in history. So, all right, let me give you a blind ranking.
Oh, let's go. That's what I asked for. I always ask for it back. Let's do it. See if I can get a better grade than you.
We're going to do NXT Women's Champions. Okay. All right.
Got it.
All right. We're going to start with Bayley.
Ooh, Bayley. Ooh, that's a good one to start with. There's probably only one, maybe 2 people I can argue are greater NXT Women's Champions than her. So I will put Bayley at 2.
Okay. All right. Next up, we got Paige.
Ooh, first ever NXT Women's Champion. There's the classic matches with Emma. Oh, that's a good one. She relinquishes the title, so she never loses the title. She's the first one, so there's significance there. Won't put her at the bottom. Can't put her too close to the top. I'll put her at 4.
Okay. Shayna Baszler.
Oh, the Queen of Spades. Y'all don't know how much I loved Shayna Baszler's rise as the top heel of NXT. That is up there. That like if you ask me what's my Mount Rushmore women's NXT Women's Champion, I might make an argument for Shayna Baszler to be in that conversation. That's how good her run was. I don't know if I can make the argument she's higher than Bayley, because Bayley's importance is just up there. Like there's only 1 or 2 people that you can argue is a more important NXT Women's Champion than Bayley. So I'll make her 3.
Becky Lynch.
She had a good run. it was kind of, to me, a too little too late type of run. She is the GOAT, so I can make the argument that she's number one just by holding it. Simply by holding it, she is number one. But this is NXT Women's Champion. I think you might give me a really good one at the end here. So let's give her number 5.
I would say you got to put her at 5 or 1.
Yeah,
You're number 1. JC Jane. No, I'm kidding.
That would have been awesome. I would have sang like a thief in the night.
Your number 1 is Ember Moon. That is who I had. For your last
That's
person.
even worse. I can make an argument Ember Moon is the worst. The worst NXT Women's Champion of all time. Because the simplest thing they had to do was have her finally beat Asuka. Finish the story. And then they said, no, we're going to have her lose to Asuka again at Brooklyn. I was there live for that. Great matchup. But I was there live, and I knew Asuka was winning. And I was telling Top Guy JJ was sitting with me, and he's like, yo, Ember's going to win. I'm like, she's going to lose again. And when Asuka won, oh, my God, I laughed in his face. I laughed in his face like there was no tomorrow. Like, I can't believe I put that number 1. That's the only mistake. I think everything else on my blind ranking here was very well done, except for number 1.
I was always gonna test you by giving you Becky at 4 to see where you ended up going with her. I'm with you that she should have been 5 when you had the choice, because you want to leave the 1 spot open, because I think who'd you've had the arguments for? Asuka easily.
Yes.
Over
Asuka
Bayley.
easily, and Sasha.
Sasha.
There's an argument for Sasha Banks as well. I think there's even an argument for Shayna Baszler. I just wanted to be on like more of like the safe side, because I think importance wise, Bayley is above Shayna.
Right. So I'm with you for leaving that spot open. But I was only gonna test you with Becky as one of the later ones to see where you would put her, because now Sports Illustrated does not have her ranked number 1.
No, I'm not the only one who says it. Sports Illustrated says it as well. Who do you think is number 1 greatest NXT Women's Champion? I think it's Asuka easily.
Yeah, I think it's Asuka. Yeah, I don't think there's too much.
I don't think there's really any kind of argument otherwise. It's Asuka number 1 for me. Then I would go Bayley, Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler.
That's fair. All right. Good job with the blind ranking, SP3. What did the people give you for the letter grade? You got a great SP3 now.
Give me a letter grade for my botch at the end. I'm the guy that gets like good grades on the multiple choice, but then forgot to put his name on the top of the answer sheet.
It's tough because you don't know what's coming. You know what I mean? Like, you have no idea. That's the whole point of it, right? To blind rank everything. Exactly. So yeah, you don't know what's coming off this. All right, people. So
I got a B.
All right,
I got a B. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you.
All right, let's AEW September to remember tonight, a 3-hour extravaganza that starts at 8 p.m. Eastern on TNT and HBO Max. We got a contract signing between Hangman Page and Kyle Fletcher. I almost said Kyle O'Reilly, and like my brain short circuited.
My brain always wants to say like Kyle O'Reilly when I say Kyle, so I have to remember Fletcher.
Yeah. Kyle Fletcher and Hangman Page, they will sign the contract. Hopefully nobody tries to light anybody on fire to make demands on the contract. Do you think Don Callis will be there to try to like wheel his way out of something with the contract demands of, I got to be ringside at the very least? You know, Hangman said no Don Callis family members, but like I have to be ringside for this. Or he'll do the bit where
I have to do commentary.
Commentary, yep. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's got to at least be on commentary. I imagine Don Callis will somehow be ringside for this for this match on
will
Saturday.
Hangman show up? Because if you remember the last time Hangman had a contract signing before an all-out pay-per-view, he wound up burning someone's house down.
What's important to Kyle Fletcher? Can he go to the moon and be like, here's a real proto star, not you? Can he blow up a proto star? Is that a thing?
Like Kyle Fletcher can threaten he's not going to sign the contract because he does want the Don Callis family at ringside, and then Hangman takes the most important thing away from Kyle, Konosuke Takeshita, and threatens to burn him alive.
Oh.
So he learned from his lesson from last month. So he was prepared with the arson attempt.
People saying Sky Blue. They've never really like played that into television, so I don't love just randomly let's pull Sky Blue out of this. That's not a television thing. What about his dick? Kyle Fletcher, he's got he likes to protect his junk.
Or Hangman can be like, he can be spreading some gasoline around some building, and Kyle's like, what is going on? I don't recognize this building. And then Hangman comes out of the building, and then they do a pan out shot, and it's the international factory that makes screwdrivers, and he's gonna burn it down. So Kyle can never use a screwdriver, and the Don Callis family can never use a screwdriver again.
Is he gonna burn everything pink? Just walking around backstage, like see what's pink. He's gonna go to Bret Hart's house, be like, "All right, Bret, we got beef now. You don't realize this, but
I'm burning all your pink gear.
Yeah, everything you got pink, it's gone, buddy.
Up in flames. Up in flames."
We've got 3 AEW Tag Team title qualifier matches. The Young Bucks against the Gun Club, Luchasaurus and Kip Sabian against Jet Speed, and Top Flight against Josh Alexander and Hechicero. Any surprises in these matches?
I'd be surprised if any of these matches go over 12 minutes. The Young Bucks beat Bang Bang Gang.
Yeah.
Don Callis family beats Top Flight.
Yeah.
And what's the last one?
Luchasaurus.
Jet Speed. Jet Speed beats Matriarchy.
I think so. Here's why I'm a little hesitant on it. I do think the Young Bucks win. I do think Alexander and Hechicero win. Although I could see like, let's put Top Flight in there. It's a ladder match. We can just put Alexander and Hechicero in.
But you got Jet Speed for that
match. Well, here's why I'm a little hesitant on Jet Speed. What's the tease has been, SP3? What's the tease has been on BTE with the Young Bucks? What's the potential tease with Luchasaurus?
I'm not even gonna engage in your nonsense because
we're all gonna engage on Saturday.
No. What's gonna happen is that I don't think that the Matriarchy are gonna be in this match. It's a ladder match. You put Jet Speed in the matchup. Jet Speed's in the match. That's what's in the match. Not the Matriarchy to set up your ejaculation nonsense.
How did Jack Perry return last time? How did
to help the Young Bucks in a ladder match?
That's right. How did I gotta make sure I have my facts right before I start throwing this. Yeah, I'm double checking something. Hold on. My memory's not good on this stuff. Everyone knows my memory sucks when it comes to these things. How did the Young Bucks win the tag team titles on 2 occasions? Actually, how they went on 2 occasions
in a ladder match.
Who did they beat in the first one?
Jurassic Express.
We got to get Luchasaurus.
Road Rager 2022.
Long-term storytelling, folks. Young Bucks, ladders, Luchasaurus. And we all get ready to jack off with the return of Jack Perry.
This doesn't, like, my issue with this is that this matchup at All Out has no business being a 4-way ladder match. The Young Bucks pinned the tag team champions last week and do not have to win another match to get an opportunity. That makes no sense in this company that so flippantly gives out title matches. Why does the Young Bucks pin one half of the tag team champions yet have to win a qualifying match? That makes no sense.
Well, they got $500,000 for winning that match, so
they should get $500,000 and a title match.
What if it's like either or situation? That would actually kind of play for the Young Bucks because they're doing the broke thing. Yeah. So it's like, do you want $500,000 or do you want a title match? And like they actually have to like struggle with this decision of like, well, shit, we could win the titles and then we'll be pretty well off because then we're the champions. We get the champions purse because that's a thing.
We get more money long term if we're tag team champion instead of just taking the money now.
Right.
It's like one of those game shows on TV.
Yeah. But we're also broke. So like we kind of need the 500,000 right now. That should have been the real thing here. Oh well. Can't rewrite history. No. Get ready, folks. If all I'm saying is if Kip Sabian and Luchasaurus win this match, if they win this match, you know what time it is on Saturday. You know what time it is, SP3. It's not C-Suite time. That's tomorrow.
Time for the D3.
It's not C-Suite time. It's time to...
I gotta pop my dick, man.
It's not my dick, man.
It's time to pop your dick and get ready to ejaculate on Saturday, folks.
Pop your dick, man. Pop your dick, man.
No holds barred, Thekla and Queen Amanata. Unfortunately, they've kind of ruined the finish because Thekla ain't losing before she's about to get a title shot.
Yeah, they kind of did. They should save this one for like next week after the pay-per-view.
This should have been on the pay-per-view instead of the 4-way match.
Also true. The both 4-ways on the show is nonsensical of why they're going on. Like you first of all, you shouldn't have a pay-per-view that has 2 4-ways. Second of all, you shouldn't have 2 4-ways that were very haphazardly put together and were not very necessary. Like she's been feuding with all these people. Why doesn't she have 10 challengers? Because she's been fighting with 10 different women this whole time over the last couple of weeks. Time was Toni Storm. Why is it just Tekla? Why is it just Hayter? Why is it just Statlander? Is Megan Bayne been winning all these multi-woman matches? Why the hell is she not in this title match?
Beast Mortos against Mascara Dorada in an all-out unified title qualifying match. I think the independent wrestling scene in Mexico might have spoiled this finish.
They did. If you don't want to hear the spoiler, you should pause right now.
Joel kind of ruined it. Joel kind of ruined it yesterday. Yeah.
God damn, he did, and I know he didn't warn anybody.
Maybe he did. I probably ruined it without warning, but I literally read out the spoilers for Collision on Friday's show. I gave everybody full warning.
I did see that. Yeah, it's gonna be Mascara Dorada is gonna be in this, which makes more sense because I was thinking that Mortos would win originally because he is the AEW guy, but then I also was like, well, that doesn't make too much sense because technically Takeshita is a heel, Okada's a heel, Beast Mortos a heel. You're gonna have a 3-way with 3 heels. Doesn't make too much sense. Even though the crowd in Toronto is not gonna react to those 3 guys as heels. But Mascara Dorada, he's a guy that's more of a high flyer, that's more faster, that he can keep the action moving. As Okada and Takeshita kind of tease, they're going at it with one another. He's kind of the guy that's kind of in the middle, flying around, keeping the action moving. That makes more sense for a 3-way.
Bobby Lashley and Toa Leona. I wonder who's going to win this match.
I want to see who's going to take a bump first. If you saw their brawl last week, you know that's the real question.
That's the real match.
Yeah. It's not about who's going to win. What are we talking about?
Do you think
take a bump first?
Do you think like Lashley like takes like a count out loss here and is like, see, I lost. You know what I mean?
He's not gonna take a count out.
And then they just win. Then they like just it's a squash match on Saturday. Like they just destroy Ricochet and Gates of Agony.
Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that.
John Moxley and Roderick Strong. I assume the guy who has a pay-per-view match is going to win, but I'm really looking forward to this match.
Yeah,
Awesome.
once I saw this match, I was like, wow, I'm surprised they have not done this match yet.
Yeah. This is a strong match. Moxley and Roddy Strong. It should be a great match. Timeless Tony Storm feature. Riho against Robin Renegade. They got to get Riho some reps because last week was a little rough. So getting her in the ring and getting some reps will hopefully be good for her. Don't have high expectations for this match because I don't know how many reps Robin Renegade is getting on the independent scene.
I don't see this match going over 5 minutes. It doesn't need to go over 5 minutes as well. But we have 2 women's matches on an episode of Dynamite. Hooray, bazinga.
Well, it's a 3-hour show. I'd hope they get 2 women's matches.
To be fair, yes.
They're gonna put them all in the. It's gonna be Thekla and Aminata, and that'll actually be the main event of the women's stuff. Yeah, it'll be Riho and Robin Renegade.
Robin, second match on the show.
And then it'll be Mercedes will come out and like confront Riho, maybe a little brawl or something. Mercedes will get the up, Riho will get the up since Mercedes is gonna win on Saturday, so Riho will get the up. Then the Tony Storm feature, and then Thekla and Queen Aminata, no holds barred.
No. They're gonna separate that. I think they're gonna have that on at 10:15.
Okay.
At 10:15 because they know they are probably confident that a lot of people are going to drop off after 10. So put that after 10 so no one sees it. But you have something in the third hour for the women. They're going to do the Rio Robin Renegade matchup, the Tony Storm spotlight, and then they're going to have a backstage segment with the women that they didn't announce. That's probably a Willow Nightingale promo that continues her ongoing friendship storyline for the past 2 years with Chris Statlander.
Yeah, I just assume they're just going to put it all in a 40-minute block. Here's your women's block, folks. And then there's the FTR, Dax and Copeland, or Dax and Cash with Copeland and Christian face to face. I assume FTR is going to try to fight fans again or something.
Yes.
Happy with that.
I think they need a home run promo from this segment to really kind of land this plane and be like, this was a good build to this matchup, because the build has kind of lacked in creativity where they just did brawls and then whatever that segment last week was supposed to be with FTR trying to fight fans. So they need a great promo exchange to kind of stick the landing here.
I'm with you that they need a strong segment here. I don't have much hopes because I also have an irrational dislike for Cope, so I'm not interested in anything he does. But I can admit it. I
have a rational dislike for irrational dislike for Seth Rollins. I hated that segment on Monday with Steph, Becky and AJ Lee and CM Punk. I was like, man, what happened to the great segments they had 2 weeks in a row? What happened? Just not that here.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. That was wasn't their best work there. Wasn't their best work. All right, SP3. We'll be back tomorrow. SP3 and myself. We will review Dynamite. Maybe Joel will run in since he's there live. We'll have the C-suite. We'll have other happenings going on. Whatever's happening in the world of wrestling, it's always busy around here. SP3 to let everybody know where they can find you at.
Yes, you can find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I will be live in 1 hour's time at 1:05 p.m. Eastern time on the True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel with Maggie of Fightful Overbooks, coexisting with Rob and Maggie. She'll be joining me to preview and give our predictions for WWE WrestlePalooza 2025. Join us for that 1:05 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be back here tomorrow for Thursdays in the Weeds with Jeremy to talk all about AEW September to Remember. I'll also be back on True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel for our AE Ramble reviewing AEW Dynamite. And then on Friday, we got our all-out preview on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel with myself, Jay News, and Benno from the Grabble App podcast. So big week for All Out Palooza. So, hope you enjoy all the content here on Fightful Overbooked and everywhere else we contribute. But thank you, Jeremy, for today.
Appreciate you, as always, SP3. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow with a new episode of In the Weeds, 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll catch everybody then. Bye, everyone. Oh, wait, I missed the super chat. Sorry, Volub. Sorry. TNA,
Vanilla Fumble was this.
Yes, Vanilla Fumble was me missing the super chat almost. Volub says, TNA, you know what hurts the most? The lack of respect, except for the other thing, like not having our title. But the other thing hurts second most. They don't care about the title. Carlos Silva was like, here you go, Trick. Oh, but I'm sad. But I'm also very happy. Ha, ha, ha. You know what I mean?
I'm so sad, but I'm going to raise your hand. I'm so sad, but I'm smiling as I hand JC the Knockouts title. Great stuff.
All right, folks. Now we'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Bye, everyone.